You could be the best at anything if you just work as hard as anybody else or harder. Whatever you're into, even if you're starting late, if you work harder than everybody else, you could be there. And I feel like that's been the secret for my success, like for being a filmmaker, is when I started out, like there was a kid in high school that was way more creative and talented than I was. But I just loved it so much that I just worked hard at it and got better. Really for me, like filmmaking, I get excited by learning new things. When I'm making projects, it's always being just authentic to what I'm interested in. And so earlier on it was punk rock music and performance, surfing, and straightforward cuts. And then I got sort of bored with that, and I moved towards travel films and more capturing the motion of the locations. And then now I'm more into storytelling and capturing that feeling. Success could be a really stifling thing, and it could really hold you back from being happy if you're worried about everybody else. There was a moment that I had to really do a gut check and go, do I want to continue doing this career and being happy and successful, or do I want to be happy and change?
Yeah, I guess I've always been a city girl, and I fell in love with a surfer. I've always been trying to get back to the city, and so I think we've kind of run through a 15-year cycle of living in these beautiful beach places, and the city is maybe at this point in our life, in our mid-40s, it's where we take everything that we've learned over the last 15, 20 years, and you can really see where the genesis is. So I feel like it's in New York City, and it'll be interesting. It's a whole new chapter.
Middle ground is super uninspiring. I like crazy city, busy, hustling, or beach environment with waves and surfing. But it's like trying to be in the middle ground is boring. And that goes all the way to how different me and Sybil are. She's a city girl, I'm a beach guy, and we're just super different. But she's organized and super smart, and I'm casual and go with the flow, and we just sort of like are growing from our other strong points. I think as a parent, there's a lot of survival and just trying to figure it out on the fly. It always feels like you're not doing the best job you can. It's leading by example, but also being firm and being like when they do something wrong, letting them know, but also like giving them the opportunity that the world's wide open and that they could do anything.
If I can take my tribe around the world and pop them in and out of these places and have never, met the community or friends and figure out visas and how you live in foreign countries, I think now I have more courage that risk can be fun and the results can be really fun. It's not something to be scared of.
All those experiences that we see traveling the world, it's brought me happiness, learning like you don't need material items to be happy. When you go on a trip, you don't have all your stuff, and right there alone you're still happy. That stuff doesn't define you, and you don't need it to be happy.
It's really fun to throw yourself into the unknown and learn and challenge yourself.
Whenever you're learning, that's when you're young, and whenever you're just sort of looking towards the past is when you're old.
If you want to do something, whether it's move to a different country or start a company or help someone, there's a sequence of steps that goes into it that life doesn't just give you whatever you you think it's supposed to give you, that you have to consciously activate that.
There's a lot of parents that I see that give up on their dreams when they have kids, and I think that's the wrong message to give your kids. I think you should inspire your kids on your successes and your goals, and show them, like, look, if you work hard, you could have your dream job. You see the same people our age, and there's just some people that are just, they've almost given up, and they just sort of are just like letting it all go. And then there's other friends that are just like, they look as young as they've ever looked, and it's due to the fact that they're just still moving forward and thinking ahead and excited about the future.